Every fall, my dad butchered a hog for meat. The pork was salted and put into barrels where it kept well for the entire winter. Some of the pork and the hams were smoked and kept fresh for a long time. Some of it was ground up and mixed with spices and so forth and made into Polish kielbasa, which, when smoked, kept for a long time. I have yet to eat Polish kielbasa, or sausages if you wish to call them, as good as my dad and mother made. My father made his own contraption for smoking these meats. He built a tunnel in the ground, not too deep, maybe 1 foot deep or so, and covered it. At one end was a hickory wood fire. The smoke traveled through this tunnel, perhaps 8 feet or so, maybe more, to the other end, where there was a little house, not much bigger than a doghouse, with rods in it on which to hang the hams or the homemade kielbasas. The fire in the fire section had to be mild but constant. I think the meats were smoked for many, many hours, perhaps even 24, maybe even more, I don't remember. But the aroma of the smoking meats would make everyone hungry. One time, someone said to my father, "Hey, George, why don't you utilize the kitchen chimney for smoking the hams? Just keep a wood fire going in the home comfort, and the smoke from it rising through the chimney will do the trick." Well, my father fell for it, although against my mother's better judgment, and tried it. The smoke was all right, but it was too hot. There was too much of it, and it cooked the hams. My dad kept going up on the roof to check upon the hams every half hour or so. Well, after some time elapsed, he thought the hams should be done. However, prior to that moment, my mother heard a thud in the chimney. Pop hurried up the ladder to the roof, only to find one ham gone down the chimney and the other one ready to do the same. He salvaged that one, but what a job it was to clean the other one out of the chimney. Needless to say, he never did that again, and was he mad, so mad at himself and everyone else around him. We kept out of his way for days and days because he was ready to shoot anybody. Years later, we laughed at the episode, but it was a sad ending to a hopefully easy solution. One always learns from experience. I may add here, not a piece of that ham could be eaten. It was full of soot. All this preparation of the meat had to be done very late in the fall. Real cold weather was needed to help preserve whatever was smoked. We used a great deal of it fresh. Some of it was put in brine for preservation. Nothing of the pork was really wasted. Even the intestines were cut into long pieces, the inside rinsed out, then the pieces were inverted and gently scraped until they were paper thin. This made the casings for the Polish kielbasa. Nowadays, most of the casing of sausages, etc., are made of synthetic material and shouldn't be eaten. But when the casing is of natural derivation, it will not hurt anyone. The suet was also rendered into lard, which we used for frying. One year, my father had an accident while butchering a hog. the knife slipped and he cut a tendon of one of his fingers of his left hand. From then on, he had a stiff finger because doctors could not attach the two ends of the tendon. It would have entailed a serious operation on his hand with no guarantees of success.